Do you know that we all have a purpose in life? Some is to follow, and some don't even get a chance to. But Jesus knew his purpose from the beginning, and it was the most valuable of all. God sent his son Jesus to die for our sins on the cross. I'm going to tell you about his journey before birth, his manhood, and his resurrection, and why. And some may not believe this, and the evidence that we have for Jesus' existence is even more unclear. But there has been comments of them saying that they didn't agree with Jesus and he was a misleader, but none of them never said he was not real. That is from an article online by the author of Clifford Klein. I do believe that everyone deserves a chance to know this information, to be able to have a chance to decide for themselves if it's real or if it's not real. It's worth going to do research on or just to let go. Jesus did agree to die for our sins and 3 days later raised from the dead. I'm going to tell you, before his birth, his manhood, and his resurrection, Jesus was a spiritual being sent to wash our sins away. During his time, or before his time, so much pain going on in the world, and God had to help his people, so he decided to send his son to wash away our sins and give us a chance to get back into heaven. Jesus was born to the earthly parents of Mary and Joseph, who was the most wholesome around his time. He was born in Bethlehem of Judea, and they had 3 wise men come to bear gifts and worship him for his birth. And King Herod knew about this, and he wanted them to let him know where Jesus was. They didn't, and eventually he sent people to try to kill him, so he killed all the children, boys that was 2 years old and under. This is also kind of about, Christmas comes from not necessarily Santa Claus, but Jesus' birth. So when Jesus became an adult, he was very powerful. He traveled many places, healing people, raising them from the dead, making people who were blind be able to see again, people who could not walk to walk again, even a woman with a blood condition and men with leprosy. People began to follow him in great multitudes, and this rose suspicion for some people who turned to be against him and said that what he was performing was witchcraft and blasphemy, because he said he was God's son. There's many stories about things that have happened to him. One being him calming the sea during a very crazy storm where him and his disciples was on the boat, and showing them how powerful he was. To fast forward to his resurrection, um, basically he got offered up by one of his disciples for money. They turned on him to people who believed that he was lying about who he was, and they wanted to crucify him for that. So once he got turned and they got him, they put a crown of thorns on his head and made him carry a cross to the crucifixion site where he died on the cross with 2 other men, one who believed in the end and one who did not. How he was put on the cross, they nailed his hands from side to side on the cross, and they also broke his legs to be able to put him on the bottom end of the cross. 3 days later, on the 7th day, he rose from the dead. His mother Mary went to go and see his tomb and found an angel instead of him, who told everyone that he was no longer dead. He had risen, he is alive, and to go and spread the words to his disciples and everyone that they could, and this is what happened. This is kind of where Easter comes from the Passover celebration of Jesus being born again, as opposed to, um, death being his celebrating his life. So like I said, that the main purpose of me telling you today was to inform you of something that happened. Jesus dying for our sins and coming again for all to believe. And it's up to you to go and see if this journey is real. That the evidence is there. A lot of it is shaky because of how far ago it is, but you can kind of determine what do you feel is real and is real is not. And that's it.